Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bastion YGO here, and today I'm coming at you with my updated Super Heavy Samurai profile for post-June 2023 ban list for you guys. Now, this is a deck that honestly got pretty hurt quite a bit by the Forbidden Limited list, by the banning of the Scarecrow. It takes away a body from the field. It takes away your recursion to go ahead and be able to search twice off of Soul Piercer. So you're gonna have to play this deck a little bit differently. So what I wanted to go ahead and do is make sure this deck was as consistent as possible, which really, that's what it really hit, is the consistency of the deck. So no longer is Soul Piercer a one-card starter. No longer are we able to go ahead and build those insane boards just with one card. We can still go ahead and make those boards, but it's going to take a little bit extra steps to get there. And today I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the deck profile and a few test hands as well to show you guys exactly how to do that. So overall, I want to go ahead and say thank you guys. We reached 2,100 subscribers recently. I know I've been out more or less for the past few weeks, but I'm very grateful. But without further ado, guys, I want to go ahead and get into this profile. I know you're not here, you don't want to hear my excuses, you don't want to hear my any nonsense from me. I know you guys are interested in this profile, so we'll see what's the best way to go ahead and play Super Heavy Samurai. Now, this is of course still a testing mode. I have not gone to any tournaments with this just yet because it hasn't happened any since the ban list came out. Banlist came out, I tested, played online, tested again, rebuilt the deck, and now I feel like this is probably going to be the best way moving forward. Now, this deck, of course, may change, may see some other profiles, and it is subject to change here in the near future. But without further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my first draft for the Super Heavy Samurai, guys, post June 2023 ban list. So let's kick it off, guys. We're going to start off with 3 copies of Prodigy. Of course, that's not going to change. 3 copies of Motorbike, 3 copies of Wagon, and then 3 copies of Soul Piercer. So Soul Piercer, while it has become far less effective a card just because it's no longer a one-card starter in all its right, it's still a really good card that you are going to want to see in your opening hand. And the reason I say this is because normally we would have wanted to go ahead and use all of our to be set up properly before we pendulum summon. There are going to be some hands where we just unfortunately will not be able to do that, but we still want to go ahead and maximize on all the Super Heavy Samurai cards that are really good in order to give us as much advantage as possible. So besides the initial 4 3-ofs that everyone plays, I added a few extra cards in here that I'm going to go ahead and show you guys right now, starting with 3 copies of Super Heavy Samurai Stealthy and 3 copies of Super Heavy Samurai Soul Gaia Booster. Now, really, they were 1-ofs before because you really could just recycle them. You didn't really need them for your opening play, but with Super Heavy Samurai being a little bit crippled by the ban list, this is going to become more necessary than not. Soul Gaia Booster's effect to turn any Super Heavy into a tuner is going to be really crucial, but its effect to special summon itself to get an extra body on board is going to be really good. The Stealthy's effect to again get another free body on board is going to be really good. Both of those are hard ones per turns, but still being able to see them in your opening hand, not needing to search them, is going to be really essential as far as making sure this deck is as consistent as possible, guys. Now, we're still on 2 copies of the Big Benkei, 2 copies of the Soul Peacemaker. I have thought about bumping this up to 3. I will most likely be doing that in later profiles, so be on the lookout for that. If you have 3, I probably take out 1 of the Stealthy and put in 1 of the Soul Peacemaker. The reason I prefer Soul Gaia Booster over Stealthy is because it is a level 4 monster, and it is still a free special summon. You just need to have another monster on board, but it's still really easy to do with Super Heavy. 1 copy of Super Heavy Samurai Scales, 1 copy of Ancient Gearbox Tenilo. We're still running the combo, guys. It's still going to be a really effective way to go ahead and just recycle your cards constantly. Really good. 1 Juzukiru, 1 Regulus, of course. This is still not changed whatsoever. We still have our 1-ofs in the deck, and that's actually going to be it for the main deck monsters as far as the engine goes, guys. Really, the biggest change here is we're taking out the Gamma package and just installing 2 copies of Gaia Booster and 2 copies of Stealthy, just to increase your Super Heavy Samurai consistency. Now, you could go the other route and just say, well, we don't need those cards anyway. Let's go ahead and play more different hand traps instead. 2 Ghost Mourner, 2 Nibiru, 2 Ghost Spell, 2 Ghost Mourner, whatever it might be that you guys want to play. And by all means, you can definitely do that. But like I said, just being able to see more Super Heavy Samurai cards now more than ever is really going to be what takes this deck to the next level. And adding more consistency as well is never really a bad thing. So we still have 12 open slots for hand traps, guys. We play 3 FX Baylor, 3 Ghost Ogre, 3 Drone Lockbird, and 3 Ash Blossom for our 12 hand traps in the deck. These are going to be the most effective hand traps in the deck right now, in the game right now still, with the I want to say crippling. I think that's more or less a fair word to say. With the crippling, that that's what we can call this Banlist. We can call it the Great Crippling, right? Of Purelli, the crippling of Kashtira, Sprite, all this type of decks. I think this is going to be still the perfect type of a hand trap list to go ahead and combat that. All those decks still play around Nibiru, so it's really not the best main deck one, although I did try it out. It's still something that can go ahead and play around. That is 39 cards. For the 40th card, I am still playing the one copy of Sekka's Light. If you don't want to play Sekka's Light, perfectly understandable. You don't need it. I just found that I had the Parallel Secret Rare, and I want to go ahead and put it in here. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Sekka's Light is still a really good card. It does prevent you from going to your Pendulum plays, which can hurt you, especially now more than ever. But again, just being able to see Super Heavy Samurai monsters in your hand is going to be essential, because if you don't see it in your hand, you can't play. If you don't want to play Sekka's Light though, you can still play one copy of Soul Claw, and that's still really effective because it still gives you another Super Heavy Samurai name. But that's going to be it for the main deck, guys. 39 monsters, one spell being Sekka's Light. Now let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we have one Sarutobi. Still really good card, especially in time. One Borreload Savage Dragon, one Psyframe Lord Omega. I put the Omega in here so you can recycle your Tunneler. That way you can go ahead and make sure you have as many consistency pieces in your deck as possible. You can go summon out the Tunneler again, do the same thing over again. It pretty much recurs your graveyard, which is going to be really nice, of course. One Exa, one Baron. You can still go into this play. Just again, it's not a one card combo anymore. You are going to need more cards to go into this. No, that's incorrect. You can still go this with a one card combo, but the issue with that is that if you don't have any additional extenders, you're ending on just the Baron and your Pendulum Scales, and that's it. Before your Pendulum Summon. So that is something that is not favorable in the event you have a one card starter, but with Baron still being really effective in the game, of course, you want to make sure you're able to play her if you have the space to. One copy of Gear Gigant X. We still are not playing the Ancient Gear Golem, in the Ancient Gear Link. I forget what it's called. So one Gear Gigant X, I should say. Gear Gigant X, I like it because it gives you more versatility as far as what you can search. One Steel Storm Roach, one Baguska, one Zeus combo, essentially Merrymaker, Sargis, and into the Sky Thunder. Pretty standard for the Exes. For the Links is where we're going to see the biggest change, guys. One Genius, of course. One IP, taking one of the spots of the Scarecrows. One Nightmare Unicorn, one Appaloosa Bow the Goddess, and one Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. So this I like a lot, especially into Towers type decks where you just really need to go ahead and get rid of whatever they have on board. Summoning out 4 monsters and then just linking this off is really good. Also, it's still a really good effect of the card. It has protection for itself, so it is nice to have. I'm still testing out with the Link lineup. I did want to look for other generic Link ones to play, but there's unfortunately none that really live up to the expectation that you would expect from a Scarecrow. I mean, it doesn't match up nearly as much, just because Scarecrow, not only was it a free search because you link off the Soul Piercer for it, it also gave you immediate recursion by special summoning back the Soul Piercer, so you can go ahead and go into your synchro plays, and then by that you got a second search off the Soul Piercer. So there's really not a single other Link one. I thought about the Clara and Rubikish Link 1 card. I forgot exactly what it's called, but essentially that card cannot be used in main phase 1, can only be used in main phase 2, so it's really dead if you're going first, and that's not very helpful. So I couldn't really find another Link 1. I really wish Soul Piercer was only 1,000 attack points, so you could potentially go into like Almirage, but unfortunately it is 1,200, so that will not work. But that's going to be it for the deck profile, guys, for the main deck and the extra deck. Now let's go ahead and go over some test hands for you. Alright guys, so we shuffled the deck real good. Now we're going to go ahead and give a few more shuffles just to make sure, and we're gonna go ahead and get right started with the test hands. Alright guys, so go ahead and get started with our opening hand. We have Ash Blossom, fantastic, love to see it. We have one Wagon, okay, we have a starter. We have Effect Veiler, we have Soul Piercer, would have been really good to go ahead and start with this, now not so much. And we have a Stealthy, so we have one of our additional extenders, gonna be really good. Alright guys, so with this hand we definitely have a few plays we can go ahead and do. We could normal summon out the Wagon, but that only searches out a Super Heavy Samurai Soul card, which leads to very limited plays. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna normal summon the Soul Piercer. By itself, it is not a starter, but we do have Stealthy in hand, so we're gonna special summon the Stealthy, and then we're gonna go ahead and link off. So we're gonna go ahead and link these off so we can go ahead and search, and we're gonna link off into, let's see, actually link off into Cleave for Genius. Okay, we're going to activate the effect. We're going to search out our motorbike. Activate motorbike effect by discarding it to search. So we are going to search out a Prodigy. There we go, search out the Prodigy. So I'm going to activate Prodigy's effect, special summon. And that's going to allow us to get the Benkei, activate Benkei effect to search a Soul, Super Heavy Samurai Soul card. So we're going to get Soul Gaia Booster to our hand. There we go. So we get Soul Gaia Booster, which is nice and dandy. Okay. So because we don't have that additional recursion with Scarecrow that does damage what we can do, but we're still going to go ahead and go off. We're going to equip the Soul Gaia Booster to the Wakaushi. We're going to go ahead and special summon the Soul Gaia Booster, and then we are going to Synchro Summon. So we're going to Synchro Summon into our Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Wakaushi. Okay, we'll get Wakaushi over here, and this is actually going to be able to allow us to special summon the Motorbike. So we're going to get Motorbike out here as well, allow us to Synchro Summon into our copy of Bear on the Floor. There we go. So now that we're here, we're going to have to go a very unconventional route. We're going to Pendulum Summon out the Ash Blossom and the Wagon. Because this does not specifically say Machine type monster has to special summon, this says when two monsters are special summoned at the same time to a zone this part points to, search a level 5 or higher. So we're going to activate Chainlink Genius, Chainlink 1, Wagon, Chainlink 2. Wagon's going to go ahead and put itself into defense position, and Genius is going to allow us to search. So we are going to be able to search out our Therion King Regulus. Okay, so we have the Regulus. Nice. We're going to special summon out the Regulus by targeting the Soul Piercer. Okay. Activate Baron to pop the Soul Piercer. That allows us to search. We're going to search out the Soul Peacemaker. It's all coming together. Then we're going to activate Soul Peacemaker. Nope, not yet. We're going to turn Wagon into attack position. Wagon's effect is going to allow us to search a Soul card. So we're going to search Soul Piercer. There we go. Do we want to search Soul Piercer here? Thinking. Yeah, we'll search Soul Piercer. Okay, so in that case, we'll go ahead and activate Soul Peacemaker equipped to Wagon. Activate the effect. Yeah, we're going to activate the effect. Okay, tributing to special summon our Super Heavy Samurai Scales from deck. There we go, special Scales effect. Gonna target the Soul Piercer we have in the graveyard. Currently our hand is the Effect Veiler and the Soul Piercer. So we're gonna go ahead and get out another copy of Soul Piercer. Okay. So then what we can do is right here we can go ahead and link for 4 and get an Appaloosa. What I want to do is get another search of Soul Piercer, so I'm going to equip Soul Piercer to the Scales, and then we can go ahead and get nutty with it. So another thing I could have done is that if I search Soul Gaia Booster's effect, it allows us to equip. So we go ahead and equip, and we want to Synchro Summon, make it into a tuner. With Soul Piercer, it does allow us to get an additional search, so that is really nice as well. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and link for 4. Okay, link for 4. Into our copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa is going to have 4 negates, and we're going to get 2 searches of 2 Soul Piercers, which is nice. So we're going to be able to go ahead and search out a Motorbike for next turn, and then we can also get a normal summon for next turn as well. We can go ahead and get Wakaushi, or we can go ahead and get a Soul Gaia Booster. And right now we have a 4 negate Appaloosa with a Therion King Regulus and the Baron negate, still with not having a single copy of Scarecrow and pretty much Gamma out of the deck. The Soul Piercer not being a 1-card starter, we are still able to go ahead and build a decent enough board. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. Honestly, this is not going to be something that you're going to be able to do each and every single time. Of course, each and every single hand is going to be a little bit different, but with that being said, I want to go ahead and prove to you guys the deck is still very, very viable, is still definitely playable, and really it makes the deck more fair because it's not a whole bunch of 1-card starters. Now there's just 1.5 to 2-card starters, 2-card combos you can go ahead and do. And what I like about it is that the deck feels a lot more freelance instead of just following the same exact pattern over and over and over again. It got a little bit more repetitive that way, but this is still really interesting to go ahead and play. But let me know what you guys think about Super Heavy Samurai in the comment section down below, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. I have a whole bunch of more deck profiles and discussion videos coming up with this next week. We've got new ban list, we got new product coming up, so make sure you subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.